Hi guys, it's Mr. Mortgage here, back from a few week hiatus. I was working on a few other projects. I got to make a living too, you know. So anyway, today we're going to talk about the quickening. And I've talked about this on my blog. I think a massive amount of supply, residential real estate supply, is about to hit the market. And I'll tell you why. But first, make sure you go onto my blog, because even though I haven't been on YouTube, my blog, I'm up posting things every day. As a matter of fact, if you subscribe to it by putting your email address in, it sends you a summary of everything I did for the day that you can read at the end of the day or your leisure or whatever. So go to ml-implode.com, the original mortgage lender implodometer. Up in the left-hand corner, look for my head near an article. It says Blogger's Corner. Click on that and that takes you to my blog. Or go to Google and type in Mr. Mortgage Blog and I should pop up there. So I call it the quickening, okay? The quickening is the dumping of assets onto the market in bulk that will affect future prices due to increasing supply. So we already know that banks out there are starting to bulk assets, 100 million, 200 million, 500 million, in non-performing notes or REO to certain investors who can actually dispose of these assets, which is not many out there, right? There's some large name vulture funds and there's some other private stuff. We do things like this in my consulting firm, but there's very few people that can handle this kind of stuff, right? So it's going to become more prevalent. We have heard the FDIC saying they're going to dump IndyMax assets. We've heard, we've seen Merrill dump $30 billion to Lone Star, of which within that there are residential real estate assets, non-performing notes, REO. Daniel Mudd, CEO of Fannie Mae, said he's going to dump 54,000 REO in bulk on the market. Now, keep in mind, for every REO, there's about 4 non-performing notes in the pipeline. So there could be up to 200,000 non-performers along with that REO. Lastly, Lehman said they're going to dump $40 billion, of which a lot of that is residential real estate assets such as non-performing notes and REO. Now, if I was a CEO of a bank, I'd want to get out ahead of these guys. And that's what's happening. You're seeing people out there looking for deals, looking to sell assets. And the stuff's inexpensive. I mean, well, inexpensive in relation. You can buy 100 million, 200, 500 million in actual vacant REO. It needs rehab. You're taking on market risk. You have to clean up the property, list it, the carrying cost. It costs money. You have to undercut the market to sell the property, you know, by maybe 5 to 10% to sell it quickly. But you can buy California vacant REO from 45 cents to 65 cents on the new appraised value. If you have the right relationships, not many people do, but it's out there. Non-performing notes are even cheaper. When this supply hits, it's going to drive down prices, which will drive down prices on the front end because of supply. Right now, home sales are increasing, right? We see that every single month, but hey, that's due to seasonality. Home sales always increase in the spring, summer selling months, okay? But we have a little problem with home sales increasing. We have the number of foreclosures also increasing. You saw my California home sales report, which I put out prior to the official new and existing home reports. And I told you, home sales are going to increase this month in California and likely the whole nation. But look what else is going to increase. The percentage of foreclosures as a part of the total sales, or foreclosure resales rather, as a percentage of total sales, and now we're up to about 45% in the state of California, and about that number nationally, which means organic sales, me selling a home to you, is near an all-time low. In July, it was about 21,000 organic sales went off in the state of California. To put that in perspective, about 55,000 went off 2 years ago in July. So sales are down considerably. And people are stuck in their homes. Their main competition is the bank. I've told you over and over again that the foreclosure market is now the real estate market and the banks are the market maker, and it's coming to pass in living color, and people like you and I can't sell our homes. We're stuck in them until the day our toxic exotic loan explodes and we blow up and we quit making our mortgage payments. So people have, that's happening. Also, values continue to drop. 1 to 5% per month. These values are dropping, and people come out with these headline numbers that are up and herald, hey, yay, everything's great with the housing market. But if home sales increase, the amount of foreclosures increase, the percentage of foreclosures of total sales increase, and values drop, the market's not getting any better, guys. The market's getting worse. As a matter of fact, in California in July, 12.5 billion or 30,000 homes were foreclosed upon, and there were only 20,000 organic sales, or 21,000 organic sales. More homes were foreclosed upon from individuals than sold to individuals by other individuals, right? There were about 39,000 total homes sold in the state. So clearly the housing market's getting worse. I want nothing more than to come out and say the housing market's improving. I want to see that light at the end of the tunnel. But for the last year and a half, that light at the end of the tunnel has been a train each and every time. Again, home sales should pick up in the spring, summer selling season. And last September, they dropped 7.6% from September to October in the state of California, and I'm expecting the exact same thing here to happen this month. If you go out into these subprime epicenters where most of the sales are now occurring, especially the previous foreclosure sales, resales, they're occurring, you do a foreclosure search using Foreclosure Radar, for example, around any particular property, and there are 200 or 300 foreclosures in the pipeline. They're going to end up at supply. You have these speculators out there now that are buying these homes thinking replacement value is a good time to buy a home, when in reality, replacement value plus land, that is, when in reality land's free. You know, and replacement value is not a good metric anymore. Rents are dropping in these areas. So people are trying to catch a falling knife. It's reflected in the sales numbers, but underneath this market, when you look at the micro aspects of the market, everything is getting worse. And now we're seeing loan defaults and higher grades of paper really accelerate. And the ratings agencies absolutely go to town on jumbo prime and Alt-A. And the ooze is spreading from the subprime epicenters to the more suburban and urban areas. And you watch, that's what's going to happen, especially as values drop and more people are thrown into a negative equity situation. It's happening right now. Back to supply. If I was a CEO of a large bank, I would want to get ahead of these bulk sellers. The largest sellers in the world all said they're going to be selling assets. So what does that do? That drives down the price of assets in bulk. That'll also drive down the price of assets on the street level. Now, they're all talking about this in August and September, and they're going to be selling this stuff over the next few months, right? People get a hold of these properties. They work with the borrowers in the case of non-performing notes and get their property back using cash for keys or whatever it takes to get the property back in their hands. If they refinance them, that's great because the people stay in their homes and it doesn't become inventory. But or they go out and buy these REO that they have to rehab and get back on the street. When does all the supply hit? Right around March or April, right going into the summer selling season, when everyone's hoping next year will be the year it repairs itself. So we have defaults starting to soar on newer or on higher grades of paper, and right about that time we are likely to get a massive supply rush on to the market because banks finally are getting smart and they're raising cash through selling these kind of assets. Remember, it's all about selling assets and raising capital. We've heard this so many times with the banks. The banks tried to raise capital by ripping off sovereign wealth funds last year. They also went out and sold a bunch of preferred shares earlier this year. Neither worked. They're just plugging holes. Now they're into selling real assets, and the residential real estate does have some value. They can sell it quickly, and that's what they're choosing to do. The quickening is upon us, and you need to watch out if you're in that residential real estate market looking to buy or sell homes, because I believe that this will also affect values, as well as mortgage lending tightening. Fannie and Freddie are tightening. The mortgage insurance companies, I have a report on it right now on my blog, they're coming down to 90% now. They're not going to insure in restricted states that are declining value or restricted regions. They're not going to go over 90% loan to value. Rating's the only one left. They're going to stop in October likely. So even if Fannie and Freddie Mac offer it, you're not going to be able to do anything but a 10% down loan in these regions that are the hardest hit, that have to heal first, or the rest of the nation can't heal. So anyway, look out. Again, I'd love to be a bull. I'm not yet. As a matter of fact, I truly believe things are getting worse. Go on to my blog. All the proof is there. When you're onto my blog, make sure you subscribe to my blog by putting your email address in. You get everything I do. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, okay? Give me 5 stars if you like the video, guys, and by all means, don't believe the hype. Bye-bye.